fringe of fringe of badness. Okay, those are our tiers. Okay, I feel like bad isn't that, it's not evil. Okay, so alphabetically, the Antennabeetle is evil and mean and bad. Undeniably, this thing is a fucking menace. I hate it more. I hate it more and more every time I see it because, like, having it combined with other enemies is just the worst. And also, it's such a tight window to actually kill it. Like, to actually hit its head. That with normal Pikmin, I really hate dealing with it. With a purple, it's not that bad, though. If you have purple Pikmin, it's not that bad. Anode beetles are friends. I know. I don't think I ever hate these things. I'll kill their friends, and then I will instantly, like, leave one behind always. I'll never kill all anode beetles because they're cute, and because you don't need to, and because they're the least. They're both the most threatening, but also the least threatening thing in the room. Because with a purple stomp or just tapping their head, it's like, okay, they're suddenly not a threat, even though they can instantly kill your Pikmin. All Dweevils are bad. However, all four of them, except for the purple one. I don't know the purple one's name. I don't know any of their names actually. You literally steal their girl. You kill their girl. The difference. Jesus. It's true. Anode beetles are massive killers in vanilla runs. Where is the purple Dweevil? I have no clue. I can't see it. I don't hate the explodey guys. They're quite useful, actually. There it is. That one's evil, mean, and bad. The purple one's evil, mean, and bad, people, because that shit has more health for no good reason. Literally no good reason. It has no excuse. It has no excuse to have that fucking extra health. You need, like, 2 purples to kill it. That shit pisses me off. If, like, the other 3 I can kill without purples, like, super reliably, but the purple one sometimes takes, like, 3 cycles. Oh, it drives me insane. Okay, okay. Alright, these guys aren't Pikmin 2. I'll have a not Pikmin 2 level. Hi, Cairo. Jesus. I love you too, buddy. Add row below. From inferior game. My gosh, Cairo, I need my thing there. Thank you. So, you... Cairo, stop licking my hand. This fucking dog. I love you. I do, yes. I do love you. I'll do FS after, yeah, Bino. Calling 3 inferior? Sorry, facts are quite difficult. You're a normal cannon beetle. You're fine. Inferior... Oh, Beady Longlegs is not inferior. Okay. Cannon beetles? They're just bad. I don't hate them. Like, they're easy to kill. You can kill them with just a handful of Pikmin. In fact, they're on the fringe of badness. Yes, they can instantly kill your Pikmin, but they're not that bad. Oh yeah, here, we'll do a quick Cairo cam. I can do that. He is very desperate to be on camera. He's begging me right now to be on camera, so... Camera. There. Here he is. Hi, Kai. Hi, everyone. It's Cairo. Are you a good little pupper? Yes, you are. You're the best little pupper ever. Yes, you are. You're so good! Look, he has his arms right where I fucking, like, I do this. He just puts his arms on me. I'm trying to fix my camera. There we go. Thank you. Thank you for the Cairo cam, Ray. Okay, let's go back to... Nope, this one. Cairo is a very shitty mousepad, I won't lie. Anyways, so yeah, the armored cannon beetle is not a problem. Here, I'll zoom in so you guys can see a bit better. There. Not that bad of a problem, as long as you know how to deal with it. You don't need, like, purples or anything. It's just, like, be careful when you're behind a wall. That's the main thing. Be careful behind a wall with him. Beady Longlegs, I think I'd rather die for real, but I know, they're just evil, mean, and bad. These things, if you don't have yellow Pikmin, takes absurdly long to kill for no good reason. Because you just can't reach it, and then it shakes your shit off. It's like, fuck, man. Like, with the meta that... That's my water bottle. Can you not? With the meta that we do, it's super inconvenient to have to deal with a BD long legs. Every time. There we go. So I really don't like dealing with them. And also, I've been squished by them many times. Bulbmen are friends. I don't hate Bulbmen because they're easy to kill. You don't even need don't need anything special to kill them. You can kill them with just the captain if you're scared. They're not bad at all. The only issue that I have with them is that they are roamers. So if you're not careful with your Pikmin and you're not aware of your surroundings, they will go around and they will absolutely devour your Pikmin around, and it will suck. Bulborbs are friends. I don't ever have a problem with them. It's their variants that piss me off. I think that they're pretty cool. They're just kind of like, even with just blue Pikmin, you can take them out relatively easily. They can be threatening if you fuck up your rhythm and you don't have enough Pikmin. But otherwise, they're fine. They're fine. Bulbmin larva, on the other hand, or sorry, Bulborb larva, on the other hand, as you can see with their fucking great picture here, are the absolute worst of all time, as they will instantly eat your Pikmin without ever spitting them up. So if they devour your Pikmin, it's just instantly gone. Fuck them kids, yeah, as True Praxis has said in the chat. They are the worst thing in the game, just about. But like at the same time, if you're smart about it, a captain does one-hit KO them. It's just like, it's so annoying to deal with. So ideally an Empress isn't making children, or ideally the Empress is making children in another room. I prefer that one, because if they're making children in the other room, and it's like disconnected from you, then you get all the nectar still. Because when you kill them, they do have a good chance of dropping nectar. And if you bitter them, they always drop nectar, and that's a lot of nectar. Bumbling snitch bugs, I would also rather they die for real, though. Holy shit, I hate these things so much. These combined with literally any enemy in the game makes that room just the fucking worst thing ever, because they will grab you and then your Pikmin will all disband, and then suddenly whatever's in that room has free reign over your Pikmin while you try and mash out. Yes, they're useful for teleporting back to spawn if they're in a metal room, but god, then you have to deal with that metal room with them just sitting there. They're unbearable sometimes. You try and fight a fucking ranging Bloister with this shit, and it's like, no, I don't want it, because then you're switching between both captains, and the Bumblin's grabbing one of you up, and then it's like, uh-oh, ranging Bloister's here, it eats 8 Pikmin at once, and it has a lot of health, and it's just like, fuck. Alright, anyways, I hate them. I hate them a lot. Burrowing Snagrid is friend. I really like Burrowing Snagrid as a boss. I think it is... I think it's one of those good bosses where it has, like, you know, 2 different ways it pops out of the ground. It's easy to kill. It doesn't kill many Pikmin. It's not threatening at all. It is... On the list here of friends, the boss is the least threatening thing here. It's quite funny. Creating Dirigibugs, I am getting fed up with these fucking things. They're evil and mean and bad. Again, they're useful. They can, you know, kill the Titan Weevil. They can kill enemies in the room. They can kill that beady Longlegs right there. But the fact is that combined with other enemies, they are usually the biggest threat, but also the smallest threat. And it's just difficult to deal with them in crowded rooms, because to avoid stuff like bomb rocks exploding, your main method is to C-stick and try and get your Pikmin to move away, yeah? In a crowded room, though, you're going to have your Pikmin latching onto corpses, onto treasures and stuff, and it's just going to basically, like, as you literally just watched, actually, in my last run that I just did, I was in a crowded room with a bumbling snitchbug, or, sorry, not bumbling snitchbug, with a creating Dirigibug, and 2 purples died because I wasn't able to get out. It was too crowded. The only option I had was to use a bitter to get out of there, so, just kind of sucked. Cloaking Baronet, friend, this thing is fucking useless. It does nothing. I really do not mind it at all. It, can kill like 1 Pikmin at a time. It's obnoxious because it doesn't die to Wraith or anything, so you deal with it a lot, but it's not a problem at all. I don't really like Chrysanthemums that much. They're Friendship Badness. Burnets have less HP than Dwarf Orange Bulbors. Of course they do. I'm not even surprised. But yeah, creeping chrysanthemums. These guys, they don't get killed by Wraith by default, which automatically makes them fringe of badness. Otherwise, no, what, they're bad. I don't like them. They're just this, they're the exact same as bulborbs, essentially, except easier to kill. But they're more annoying because if you need a lot of Pikmin to kill them, and if you don't one-cycle them, then they'll throw your Pikmin all over the place. If you're in a metal unit, it sucks because that means a lot of Pikmin are just going to die. They're obnoxious. They're just obnoxious. That's all it is. They're not difficult. They're just obnoxious. So I don't like them. I dislike these guys more than the normal cannon beetles because their boulders home in. And that has a tendency to fuck me over. But they're useful. They're useful. No, fringe of badness. They're useful. They're useful. It pisses me off, but they are useful. They are really useful for, like, bulborbs and stuff. The green shells are faster, which is even more obnoxious, I think. It's just, I don't know. I prefer the normal cannon beetles than the decorated ones. Other way around. I prefer the decorated ones over the normal ones. It's just that I have been fucked over by these guys in the past, but I think that's more my fault than the games. I'm glad we don't have the buried ones in CC either. Fuck my life. I hate those ones. I hate the buried ones. Those ones can fuck right off. Anyways, Doodlebugs are evil and mean and bad. They show up at the worst times. There's zero indication of where they are. And they make all your Pikmin scramble. That's never a good thing. Pisses me off to no end. So yeah. Fuck those things. Friends. All dwarf bulborbs are all friends. They are all friends. All friends! Empress Bulblax, they're just one-shot kills. They're never a problem. Empress Bulblax is bad. I don't like her that much. In fact, she's the top of bad. She's just kind of... She's obnoxious to kill, because honestly, to kill her, you need 2 sprays. Evil, mean, and bad. Fuck her. She creates the things I'd rather die for, and she fucking takes 2 sprays to kill between like a bitter and a spicy, unless you really got on timing early on when she has baby making happening. Mamuda is also evil and mean and bad. This thing fucking sucks without purples. Like, without purples and without Pluckaphone, this thing can literally just end your run. Like, it really can. And it's just not much counterplay to it. I've found a strategy to kind of get it pretty well done with a normal army of Pikmin, but I don't really want to trust it usually. I'm sure in the heat of the moment I would, but God, really, really not a big fan of those guys. Because having all your Pikmin buried with no Pluckaphone basically just means that you're stuck there for like literally a minute. Literally a minute with one captain auto-plucking them. They are friendly, but they're evil and mean and bad friendly. Speaking of friend, this thing does literally nothing but piss me off. So honestly, fringe of badness. I'll say it! I hate female shearwigs. Or grubs. These things piss me off. They're just fucking like, they don't fight me or anything, so it's like I don't have any incentive to kill you. And then there's corpses are just sitting there as like, oh god, I can't see stick in this area now because your corpses are here. And then I'm fighting something and it's like, oh, I gotta toss my Pikmin at them. This female sheargrub fucking starts moving me and like, stop moving me, I'm killing a bulborb. God. I hate them. They really do, actually. I really don't like thinking about it, but I do hate them. I'd rather fight everything in friend than have them there. God, they're so like they just exist. That's all they do, and that pisses me off. You know. Anyways, blowhogs are fiery blowhogs are friends, and watery blowhogs as well if they're on the list. Yeah, those guys are friends. You know, they're partiers. They hang out with me. They I don't think they ever bother me. The only time that I don't like these guys is when they're in a metal unit, and even that's like whatever. You're vibing. You're vibing if you're a blowhog. Sometimes they're kind of scary around like other enemies, but for the most part, it's like you're very low priority. Speaking of things I don't like, fiery Bulblax. I might move them up a tier. Okay, this thing, specifically within the context of Colossal Caverns, is one of the worst enemies you can find. It really is. Because you do not prioritize red Pikmin. and Bulbmin are not going to fucking cut it with this enemy. And then you can do the purple Pikmin strat, but you only have 15 purple Pikmin in Colossal Caverns. It's like, it's enough, but it's going to be risky. So I really don't like dealing with them. At the same time, I think that they are one of my favorite enemies in the game, solely because they are so well designed. This thing is the best mini-boss in Pikmin ever. It's such a cool enemy, because it's like, unlike everything else, it's like, yeah, you don't one-cycle it usually. Like, you have to fucking play it safe and actually do, like, the bait and switch, and it's a cool fight, but it's not ideal for Colossal Caverns. Definitely not ideal. It is a mini-boss. It is a fucking mini-boss. These things, the game knows it. The fucking devs knew it. They made this thing, they're like, this is a mini-boss. We're not gonna call it a mini-boss or anything, but it's a fucking mini-boss. It doesn't have, it's true, Pikmin 2 doesn't have mini-bosses, but the closest thing to a mini-boss this game has is that. You know? Listen, Cavern of Chaos 2 just had 3 mini-bosses in it. You kidding me? It's fucking Pikmin 2. They put 3 fucking Bulblaxes in a cave. Like, come on. Giant Breadbug is a mini-boss, it's true. We're getting to him. This is not a character. No! Fuck Gatling Grunks! These things do not deserve to have anything they have. Any rights? They should have the rights taken away from them. I'm putting them above Bumblin. I'm putting them above babies. This thing is probably the worst thing in the game. For me. Specifically, behind a wall. You put this thing with a wall, the run's dead. You put this thing at spawn with a wall, the run's over. The run is just fucking over. You cannot break a wall with this thing there unless you bitter it. Or you're smart and slow. That's the big thing. Smart and slow. It regenerates, so you can't just kill him because it regenerates. If you kill him, guess what? He's coming right back. Right? Like, this is early on I'm talking. If you kill him early on, there's no onion nearby, he's coming right back. It's like, this thing's a fucking nightmare to deal with in Colossal Caverns. Especially with all the walls. The moment that you have, like, movement increases and whatnot, he's not a problem. But early on, I hate this thing. I hate having this thing early on. Again, just bitter him. Yes. And I usually do. Otherwise, it's just like, fuck me. I really don't like him. Also, his AI, holy shit, his AI. He has a specific range where if he sights you, he'll follow you until he gets out of that, you know, that circle that he kind of spawns around him. And that bothers me. That bothers me a lot because with something like a bull bear, you are able to make it follow you to a certain point where it could either walk off a metal unit, or it could just get stuck and kind of, you know, put to a position where it doesn't get moved for the rest of the game. You know, it gets baited for the whole game. That's great. You can't do that with Groinks because they have a very strict radius of which they will follow you. And because they're long range, it takes significantly longer. Again, they can be useful if Titan Weevil's nearby because they are I would say the second best way to kill Titan Weevil is with a Groink. It takes less time than a Dirigibug in my experience. But God, they are the fucking worst. Also, they're fucking RNG. It's one of the 3 shots will kill, the other ones won't. Like, come on. Like, just have them all kill me, honestly, at that point. Don't do that. Don't give Nubtub ideas. Giant Breadbug is the ultimate friend. He is the ultimate friend. Thank you, Steve, for accounting for the raid. The Giant Breadbug, like, okay. This thing is conflicting because, like, yes, you have to be careful of it because what it will do is it will put you in a position where you are forced to basically fucking... You gotta be careful if it's at spawn. You gotta be very careful. Because it can eat your Pikmin and any treasures you bring back. But at the same time, it does bring back... It cleans up the area of corpses and it brings back treasures closer to you or wherever it is. So it kind of puts all treasures in one spot, which is really useful. The less out of your way you have to go for treasures, the better. Steve just started a new seed without purple or white flowers. It's much harder. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's much harder. We just did a pretty good time. We got 124. 124.01, I think. Could have been a world record. Or could have been a PB. Couldn't have been a world record. Could have been a PB if I was a bit smarter. Greater jelly floats. I'll be honest with you, I'm done with these things. I am so done with these things. Too much health. Same issue as bumbling stitch bugs where they can absorb your fucking captains and just ruin something. If they're near explosives like a Korean Regibug, the Pikmin inside them are not invincible to the explosions or electricity, I don't think. So they will still die. They absorb a shit ton of Pikmin. They are so obnoxious. They have so much health. They have so much health! Like, they just don't die. They're so fucking painful. I hate them so much at this point. And they go through, like, they chase you and they'll go through walls to get to you. Like, man, fuck off. Oh well, they're not the worst. Like, they're the least bad of the offenders in the I'd rather they die for real. Hairy Bulborb, they are friends. They are easier to kill than normal Bulborbs, but they have less health. And they are more aggressive. So, not bad at all. Crawmads are evil and mean and bad. These things should not be like this. But they are. Because, again, in Colossal Caverns, the way that you have to do this is most speed possible. So an enemy that you have to fucking stand in front of and then run away from as they come towards you, and then they shuffle back, and you can't you always one cycle them, but you can never kill them in one cycle. They always shake you off and they fucking cost you flowers. It's like just I'm at the point where I'm giving them like white Pikmin to eat instead, like every single time, because it's so much easier for me. It takes so much less time if you just give them a white Pikmin and then just move on with your day. Just like eat the white Pikmin and die. God, these things are obnoxious for no good reason. Honeywisps are friends. Metites! You're fucking bad. I hate these things. No, same level as Doodlebugs, honestly. They just make your Pikmin swarm like crazy. Never fun. These things are fringe of badness. This thing's bad, actually. These things I don't really care about, actually. But they do sometimes make my Pikmin swarm into bad spots, similar to a Sheer Grub. And then this thing disappears too fast for me to ever get all the sprays out of them, so they piss me off. Yeah, I don't like Doodlebugs or Metites at this point. They're evil. No! Pat, you go in a room with a fucking boss, and then a fucking, like, Doodlebug spawns. It's like, oh shit, my Pikmin are scrambling now while I'm trying to fight the segmented Crobster. I hate this shit. Or you're about to, you're like, okay, coming up on an orange Bulborb, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass. Oh shit, Doodlebug. Oh shit, orange Bulborb's awake. All my Pikmin are scrambling. Orange Bulborb's coming at me and eating a bunch of my Pikmin. Shit is hit the fan real quick. Like, it just sucks. They're always inconvenient. I have had so many times where it's just like, I'm fighting something and then, uh-oh, Doodlebug, haha. It's like, fuck off. Fuck off with this poison. Sounds like better Blowhog. Yes, but you don't see it. That's the problem. With a Blowhog, you can see it. You can visualize it. I hate Blowhogs at the same time. I hate Blowhogs more, actually. But you can see them, at least. With a Doodlebug, it's like, oh, fuck, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. With a Blowhog, you can plan according to it. But with a Doodlebug, you can never plan for the Doodlebug. It's just literally impossible to plan for a Doodlebug. So it sucks. Do I play Pikmin Bloom? I do. I'm currently level 10. I need to plant some more flowers. Jelly floats. I'll be honest with you. The lesser jelly floats are jack shit. I don't hate them at all. I don't hate them at all. They are friends. They are friends. You know who else is a friend? The male Sheer Grub. Because he's eating Pikmin. He's a fucking threat, so there's a reason to kill him. I don't care about the females. I hate them. But the males, they don't, they'll actually have a purpose. Welcome, Ant1 Drons. Ant1 Drons. Ant1 Draws is the chat, by the way. We're doing a Pikmin 2 enemies tier list of who I hate the most. Man at Legs is a friend. Again, it requires 2 sprays for me to 1 cycle. But he gives me light. And I like him a lot. And he usually gives me no, he's Fringe of Badness. We'll move him up because he does require 2 sprays. He usually gives me good sprays. It's just the fact he costs 2 sprays. I gotta move him up 1. I do like him a lot though. I think out of all the bosses, he's one of my favorites. He doesn't bother me. Is this a Pikmin 2 tier list? This is a CC tier list. This is absolutely a CC tier list. 100% a CC tier list. Otherwise, like, female shear grubs would not be a problem. Or am I inconsistent with that? Am I just inconsistent with saying it? Alright, Pikmin 2 tier list, specifically within Colossal Caverns, because that's my experience with them. You are not from my game, and neither are you. Otherwise, I'd be moving a lot of shit way more up. And the Grunk would be nowhere near the top. The Grunk and the Bumbling and the Jellyfloat would be nowhere near the top, otherwise. Those guys are only buffed like crazy in CC. Breadbug's a friend just like his older father or mother? I'm not sure. Giant Breadbug is friend. And normal Breadbug is friend. Orange Bulborb. I am fed up with this shit. I hate it. It's not that bad, though. It's not that bad. It's just bad. I dislike fighting them. Especially with blue meta. It's like, man, this shit just takes a bit longer to kill than a normal Bulborb. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, it takes longer to kill than a normal Bulborb. You can't instantly kill it with a cannon beetle or a bomb. And it wakes up early, so it does have advantage over you. And if you don't stun it with purples, well, you might have to end up bittering it, so it's not ideal. You're from an inferior game. You're from an inferior game. Bulblax is a friend. They are easy to kill. They are never a problem under any circumstances. Pileated Snagret is bad. I don't hate it, but this thing, both in terms of normal design and I feel like it's just a poorly designed enemy, because it's like it's a more difficult Snagret, but you have to be so precise with how you kill it in order to avoid losing time on it, that I really don't enjoy fighting it. It's just kind of like you have to sacrifice 3 Pikmin in order to kill it in a fast cycle without using a spray or anything. So I don't really enjoy fighting it. And it only kills 3 Pikmin at once, so it's not really a threat either. It's like, oh, 3 Pikmin. For one of the biggest, most terrifying bosses that I fought as a kid, that's the least threatening. It's just so obnoxious. If you do too much damage, or if you hit it too often, it just retreats. Really not cool with that. Puppy Blowhog, I hate, and I despise. And I hate, and I despise, and I hate, and I despise this thing. You put this in a room similar to a lot of the other enemies, you put this in a room with anything else, and suddenly that room becomes infinitely more difficult. I would put it above... I'd put it up here. Again, it makes it so breaking down walls is a nightmare. It makes it so battling other enemies is a nightmare. It makes it so all the enemies below it are buffed in, like, significantly. Super not fun to deal with. Oh, I hate it a lot. Raging Longlegs is similar position to him. I'll probably move him up a little bit. He's quite difficult. He doesn't require 2 sprays to kill, but he drops mid-heights otherwise, so I don't really enjoy dealing with him under those circumstances. I usually use 2 sprays on him because I like gambling. I like gambling for sprays. It's real fun. But I don't hate him. I think he's pretty cool. Oh, no, I can't put them there. I hate it, though. Out of all the things in evil, mean, and bad, I think Raging Boister is my least favorite. No, fuck it, I hate it more than so many other things up there. Okay, the thing with this enemy is that it's not a problem, but because of the way that boss spawns work in Colossal Caverns, there are so many rooms that it's like... it's just so bad to have it. You'll put this in a room that you can't get behind it. Like in that one snow room or the little fucking U-turn room. There's a lot of rooms that you can't get behind this thing without going all the way around or some shit. There's so many rooms that is just so inconvenient to fight this thing, and you have to constantly switch in between captains. Louis, Olima, and then suddenly the fucking orange Bulborb's like, what are you doing switching captains in front of me? It's like, fuck, why is there an orange Bulborb? Fuck! Why does this happen? Like, oh, it's so bad. It's so fucking inconvenient to be fucking switching between captains. And yes, it eats 8 Pikmin at once, because of course it does. And by the way, if you're C-sticking and you switch captains, all your fucking Pikmin are suddenly on the Bloister now. It's just running right into it like it can do something, but you can't attack it from the sides, Pikmin, so stop trying. Fucking hell! Okay, that was a lot. I don't like them. That's the point I'm trying to make here. They're obnoxious. These don't exist in the game, but I think they'd be cool, so I'm gonna put them in friends. You're not from this game, you're not from this game, you're not from this game. Yeah, they're not from this game. You aren't. Segmented Crobster is bad. Know what? It's evil and mean and bad. Okay. The Crobster is my fucking, he's my best friend. However, this thing is poorly programmed. It's poorly programmed. You're right. Friend, sorry. You put it in top tier? I'll put it at the top of evil, mean, bad. Because it's so necessary. And like, seeing it makes me happy, It's one of those things where like, yeah! And then I'm in the unit where it's like it fucking teleports or it gets fucking stuck in the fucking stratosphere. It's like, that's when I'm upset. The moment that it's like starts to fly around in the sky, I'm like, man, get down from there. That's what pisses me off. This enemy is so poorly programmed, it's so depressing. It really is. Hello, Steven. Today is sadly not Christmas Eve, but tomorrow is. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Yeah, this thing, it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed, Pick Hacker. Fix the fucking Crobster, please. I need this thing's collision to actually fucking work within the confines of Pikmin 2 Colossal Caverns. I need it to work within Colossal Caverns. At the moment, so many runs die because it's put in a position where it gets stuck in the sky and it's just the run's dead. The run is just dead the moment it gets up there. So that's what pisses me off with the Crobster. Shaggy Longlegs is not here. Shearwigs are just they're pretty fringe of badness. I don't hate them, but I don't like them too much. Same with Skitterleaves. Skitterleaves have the same problem female Shearwigs have, where it's like they're there and they just die. And it really bothers me. Because they don't do anything, they get in the way of my C-sticking, it pisses me off. And they're fucking... Okay, actually they're worse. I'm putting them up. I'm putting them up because this shit just runs around the room and Pikmin chase them into the orange Bulborb. And they deflower Pikmin, that's true. They do deflower Pikmin. A lot of orange Bulborb hate. I'm moving the orange Bulborb up. This bitch hates me. I hate orange Bulborbs. Fuck, I'm putting them up there. They wake up the orange Bulborb. You'd think I hate this game. Alright, not part of this game, not part of this game, not part of this game. Yet. Smart Bulborbs are the same as normal orange Bulborbs. The Bull Bear is also bad. Those three are the fucking dream team. Those three are the dads of Colossal Caverns that I all hate. The Bull Bears just travel around and they eat your Pikmin and they revive, so you can't kill them for free. It's just, man. I mean, they're definitely worse than those two because they have more health and shit. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. You're not part of the game. You're not part of the game. Oh, swooping snitch bugs. Oh, I really don't like them. Oh, I really don't like them. In fact, I hate them more than a lot of the things up here. You're down here, by the way. It's like, okay. For swooping snitch bugs, they're so inconsequential. But they grab two of my Pikmin. And that pisses me off. Because they deflower those two Pikmin. If they don't kill them in time. They have too much health. They have too much health. And they fucking swoop in. And they think they're so cool. They got your Pikmin. They fucking toss them. And if they're a metal unit, they toss them off. They actually kill them. It's like, what are you doing, man? Oh, I don't like them. TD. I don't like TD that much, but I'll just put him in bad. Because I don't ever have to deal with them. In fact, you're fringe of badness. I don't have to deal with them ever. Like, he's never a problem to me. And when he is, it's like, you know what? Just reset the run at that point. We learned that last night, didn't we? Reset the run if he's ever a problem for me. Otherwise, he's bad. Know what? He's a motherfucking friend. He's a friend. I run over him. I don't have to worry about him. You know what? He gives me 10 fucking sprays. He's the biggest friend. He's the biggest friend. Like, how can you not love him? That's 10 sprays. Like, he's not my problem. I'll put him in Fringe Badness, actually. Just because, even though he's a friend, I do need the Wraith to kill him. And, also, like, if say for instance, my spawn has two options to leave. Option A has Titan to Evil at it. Option B doesn't. That kind of sucks because it means that I have to go that direction and hope that Wraith isn't over there. Also, yeah, he does have a lot of treasures. But if he's close to spawn, then I don't really mind having that much treasure carry weight. It's when he's far away from spawn where it pisses me off, actually. Oh, you raise a good point. He's still Fringe of Badness. Because he can be good. It's a lot of sprays. Oh, Toady Bloisters. I'm really tempted to put them in. I'd rather them die, though. I need a tier that's better than this. Know what? We're moving... Oh. I feel like I need another tier. Specifically for them. Okay, they're the worst things here. These things... Okay. It's just it requires cycles to kill them. They deflower your Pikmin. They're obnoxious and they have stupid AI. Like, they just... Like, if they're next to a wall, they just... You can't get through them because they eat Pikmin through walls. They're so fucking aggravating. They're fine. They're fine there. I think they're fine there. But... They're on the fringe of this. Nothing else in this tier is on the fringe of that, but they are. They are on the fringe of that, for sure. You are not part of this game. You're not part of this game. Water Dumples I don't hate, but I don't like. They are quite obnoxious. I'll put them on the fringe of badness. They bother me a fair bit, actually. Water Wraith. He's a friend. But he's a bad friend, you know? He's a bad friend who really hurts me. Really hurts me a lot. I don't hate them, though. Hog pulls are like the same as these two, but I never really noticed them. They're not as bad. I never noticed the log pulls, so they can't be that bad. Ugh. I don't hate Withering Blowhogs as much as I hate Puffy Blowhogs, which is hilarious. Because... Like, because that's why. Okay. Puffy Blowhogs just keep blowing. Withering Blowhogs laugh at me first, so I have time to fucking break that wall down, you know? And they're smaller, and they have less health, and they don't blow as hard. Like, I get it. You know what? You want to deflower my Pikmin? Whatever. But you laugh at me, so I have time to kill you when you laugh at me, and you can use that to your advantage. Like, you can have them hit one Pikmin, and then they flower them, and then they're like... and then you kill them while they're laughing. They're like, ah! That's what happens with Withering Blowhogs. I wish Puffy Blowhogs laughed at you. Did I tell you guys about the dream I had where they laughed at you? And I was really scared in said dream because they laughed at me. It scared me when the Puffy Blowhog laughed at me. Like in my fucking dream. I dream of Colossal Caverns, people. And in one of them, the Puffy Blowhog laughed at me, and it pissed me off a lot. Oh, yeah, Puffy Blowhogs are cold-hearted murderers. We literally had the one Puffy Blowhog drown the one Pikmin earlier today. It's true. Damn. All right, you're not part of this game, and the white Spectralids aren't either. All Spectralids are the same. I don't care about the purple ones either. Wollywogs. I think the normal ones are bad, and the yellow ones are fringe of badness. When I learned about the swarm mechanic, I don't really hate them that much. I put them at the top of this, so... the fact that they can see behind them really makes it a lot harder. They're much more health, and they're much more consistent killing you, so... That's about it. I like the frogs a lot. If they weren't so obnoxious, they'd be friends. You know, in terms of loving them, they're friends. Let me see if I can't tier this real quick. Okay, so these guys are like probably like they're pretty bad friends. I don't really ever care about anode beetles. Bull blacks can be bad. They're probably worse in there. I think I hate these things more than some of this shit. There, yeah, this tier is pretty well tiered. I put the dry floats up top as well. I don't like them. You know what? They're French of badness. They're quite obnoxious. That's their jelly floats. They have a lot of health still, so having them in a room with other stuff kind of pisses me off, especially when they just keep sucking up Pikmin. Titan Dweevil's up here with Wraith, as is Man at Legs. Otherwise, this tier is pretty much good. Yeah, I really don't like him. Raging can go there. You can go to the bottom. Yeah, probably like that. Empress is pretty obnoxious, but not that bad. Do I dislike the antenna beetle more than... Probably not. I don't like dislike you more than Empress. Yeah, this is probably what I would do. This is probably my tier list right there. The worst thing is Grunks by far. Like, if I could make another tier, Grunks would go there, alone. Having a Grunk next to a wall is just the fucking worst thing ever. And, like, yes, you can distract them in various ways, but it takes so much time, and then you're just stuck there forever. So, that's that. Grunk wall versus Puffy wall. Grunk wall's worse. The Puffy wall, you can figure, like you can... The Grunk kills you, the Puffy doesn't. And Purple Pikmin can get through the Puffy wall pretty easily. So, anyways, thanks everyone for hanging out for the stream. I had a good